Okay, so welcome back to Minecraft and Building with Ollie. So hopefully you guys have seen the first 3 episodes, but I posted 3 episodes that combined all of my introductory stuff from my second channel into, like, it compacted down 6 episodes into 3 pretty much. And it covers a bunch of the add-ons, textures, early game stuff that I went through. And I took a huge break from the game. This is what we were building last time. I took a huge break from the game after the creaking update came out because I really didn't know what to do. It's sort of just... I had like a mini midlife crisis. I was like between jobs and between playing certain games and stuff, and a lot was changing in my life, and I couldn't find like the creativity for Minecraft as it reigns here. But Vibrant Visuals came out, and I was sort of slowly getting back into playing Minecraft before Vibrant Visuals dropped, and like, the moment it dropped, I really just got straight back into it, and I've been playing Minecraft, at least on my off days, you know, every day, and I've been putting in like a couple of hours on my off days. So I've been grinding through doing some stuff. Some things have changed since my prologue episodes. Some things haven't. I planned out a bunch of stuff for the castle that will probably end up changing. But yeah, you guys, if you watch the prologue episodes, you will have seen all of this stuff down here. But the main thing that I wanted to show you guys was the newly built town hall. You can see the peak of it there. You'll have to excuse both the rain, the torches, and I guess just the copious amounts of barrels and things that are laying around. But yeah, so I got on here the other day with my friend that's also on here, Candy, and we went through and basically, after I had built this, we went through and laid out the town square, because my inspiration for the town square is like the main thing that's driving me right now. I've been doing a lot of terraforming, I've been doing a lot of sort of planning things out and relayering things, and I want to work on the town square in some videos and kind of get this done as like my core thing. But we'll take a proper look at the town hall once I can skip to the next day and get rid of this rain. Okay, so a quick nap, and we have skipped to daytime. So as you can see, as I fly up a little bit higher here, you can see that I've been layering out some more terraforming out here, because I've got like a whole district that hasn't even been mapped out yet, because I haven't had the dirt to terraform it, basically. So I'm going to be working on terraforming off camera, and then on camera I'm going to be working on these shops and buildings that we've got around this town square. So, but this is my town hall, which I'm really happy with. Plenty of blocks, which I've mentioned in previous videos. Added in these timber frames, and they're a game changer. I absolutely love them. They are amazing. I've got down here this little basement kind of storage section, which it's just full of junk at the moment that I'm just throwing stuff in, but there's some of the timber frames, and they add in like a whitewash kind of like medieval Tudor effect, and I've wanted a block like that in the game for a very long time. And the combination of those with the stained glass add-on as well, adding in like the new medieval kind of textures for the glass, is really amazing. I really love it. Now, as presumed, the back of the build is not there, which is why I haven't shown it, but the back of the build is not currently here because I don't really know how much of the back of it you're going to see, because we're going to have buildings and stuff layered up around it quite significantly. So I don't want to rush to do the back section of it, and if I do, it's not going to have any detailing or anything, because again, I think a lot of it's probably going to get covered up. But the goal, this video, I want to start working on some of these buildings. So we laid out, we were working on some market stall designs. This was Candice that she was messing around with. Some, I think these are blinds from one of the packs. And then I was messing around with this one over here, which I think these are from the furniture pack. They're like these beams with these decorative fences. And the inspiration for the town square itself, with the big town hall, sort of central themed, I want to have something in the center here. I don't know whether or not it's going to be like a little statue or maybe like a little fountain or just something. I want a centerpiece in the middle there. But around this, we're going to have, inspired by The Witcher 3 and inspired by Fable Free, all of these little shops. Very inspired by Albion's Bowerstone Market, and inspired by, I think it's Herald Square or Heretic Square. I can't remember which one it's called in Novigrad in The Witcher 3. But heavily inspired by that. So over here, we can't see it on the sign, but this is going to be inspired by the Golden Sturgeon from The Witcher 3, which is going to be a huge tavern, a huge centralized tavern for the Royal Quarter, which is going to be the name of this district, because it's the most commercial residential district next to where the castle will be. So we want to have a nice big tavern in motel inspired build here. Next to it over here, we're going to have like a little Radiant Raiments inspired clothing store for the sort of more upper class members of Dollarhide. Then over here on the corner, we're going to have a little clinic inspired by sort of the clinics of Red Dead, where you've got like your little surgery bed and stuff. In the corner here, we've got two little shops. One of them is going to be an emporium where we really utilize the furniture add-on with like grandfather clocks and stuff. And then I wanted to squash in some residential right next to the town hall here for maybe someone of some political worth. Maybe even the mayor himself, who knows. Then over here on the opposite side, we have a residential spot right next to where this sort of archway street will go. In the corner here is going to be a weapons/blacksmith, where he's going to have a shop on the left and then his workshop on the right, right up against next to the town hall. He's going to be the primary supplier, essentially. He's going to be the kind of guy that you're going to go to get your quests. And then over here, this red building is going to be a bakery with a sort of residential plot next to it, squashed in the middle there. And then right here on the corner with some big windows on the corner is going to be a bookstore where you'd be able to get all your first edition copies of whatever is going on, and maybe even like newspapers and things like that. But I think, as much as I want to wrap in a newspaper into Dollarhide, I think maybe doing it somewhere maybe not as central would be a little bit better. I've got a lot of these kind of buildings and stuff have got window placements and door placements and things already from where we've kind of been messing around and mapping things out. I'm just going to be like sort of filling in the gaps and changing shit as we go. But this episode, I want to start working on some of these shops, start getting some of them actually built up so that the buildings themselves look a little bit more completed. So they can kind of look a little bit more like these over here, which I did end up going through because I used the creaking blocks in the top section and the bottom, but I've swapped out the bottom there for some of the timber frames because they do look really, really nice. So we're going to crack on and we're going to do some building. Again, everything is being done in survival. Yes, we do have some add-ons that improve quality of life like Tree-Capitator, but in terms of like actual building and things, it's all being done by hand. All the resources are being gathered by hand. There's not really been any changes made to the auto sorter, so we're not going to take a look down there because it's a complete mess as usual. We're just going to crack on with some building.
Thank you.
Okie doke, so it is the start of a brand new day. God, I'm stuck on my chair, but we're we're okay. So yeah, you just saw some building, and in classic Minecraft YouTube fashion, I did some building off camera. Not just me and Candy did some building off camera. Now, I was gonna do some recording for it, but we spent like 7 hours just fucking about, messing around with stuff, experimenting with stuff. Just making jokes, talking about lore. We just got lost in the sauce when it came to building in Minecraft, but I've got some stuff to show you guys. I don't think that, like, in terms of quantity, we got a lot done in comparison to, like, the amount of time that we spent, because we did spend a lot of time, like, tearing stuff down, and then we were looking at certain textures to add in and stuff, but we also like discussing lore and things, but I want to show you guys what we got done, and we've got the interior of the bookstore completely done. Let me go ahead and put my armor back on. I don't know why I keep taking it off for the start of these little sessions, but here we go. The grand reveal. Look how much we got done. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that little fella dancing. Hitting the old whip and nay, whatever the kids call it. But look at this. I'm so happy with how it's turned out. It looks amazing. I'm really, really proud of what we've built. And we've got plenty of lore behind a lot of it. So I'm going to talk sort of like as we go around taking a look. The interiors, we're holding off on until we're done with all of the shells. Because the back of the shells, as you might be able to see through the peak of the window there, are not done. We've just done the facade on the front to kind of make it look done. But I'm going to talk you guys through the kind of thought process here. So this is the bookshop, which I asked Candy to go ahead and decorate the downstairs, which definitely took a long time while looking through all the add-ons and things. But this is the Crown and the Quill, which is the name of this bookshop. And as we come inside, you can see our guy in the corner who's singeing his mustache off. His name is, I think, Bernard, maybe? What is your name? Briscoe, that's his name. His name's Briscoe Hellfire. Of course it is, old Briscoe Hellfire. Good morning, good chap. What are you doing behind the candelabra? Get from behind there, you'll singe your quiff off. But this is the bookshop that Candy went ahead and decorated for me. I really like how it looks. She put like this study table up here by the window. We got like the books in the back, all the variation textures and stuff, with a nice little staircase heading upstairs into where old Briscoe would have his residential area, basically. Ignore that big horrible vortexy motion blur thing, we'll get to that. But yeah, so the first shop interior is done. The whole goal for this was to have a little bit more of like an upper class bookshop where you can go ahead and get special editions, first editions, things like that. You could order in books and things, old tomes and books for the rich, essentially. So next to it, we actually have our tallest residential housing piece so far. Out of like everything that I've built, this is 4 floors high, and the idea here that a lot of these sort of very narrow, thin residential sections, they would be the equivalent to like apartments, basically. They would be medieval apartments that you'd be, again, ignore the motion blur, we'll get to that. You'd be able to come in here and there'd be stairs going up leading into each room. Now, the plan currently that we've kind of settled on is that the residential stuff is going to be kind of like an afterthought. It's going to be something to do, like, you know, to kind of de-stress and to not really focus on something else. It's going to be used as a distraction. In the meantime, they're going to be like little facade rooms and stuff put in to just kind of give the illusion that somebody is living there or somebody's at home or whatever. You know, you might see one window lit up and another window not. That kind of thing. Next door, we have the Duchess of Dough, because this will be, very, very soon, the bakery, which I'm very excited to crack on building. I haven't done the interior of a bakery in a very long time, and we've got a couple of add-ons that add in quite a few pieces of like food and stuff and kitchen-y kind of equipment. So I'm going to be focusing on that at some point in the future. I think I might do an episode where I do a load of shop interiors. I think that could be quite fun. And then over here, we have, he's called NPC. This was previously the mayor that we put down for the law that we were making, but I'm sure he'll just get disregarded. But this is his home. This is his home right next to the town hall. He doesn't live in the town hall. He has to leave the town hall and come over here. Candy's done some brief interior decorating in here, and it's very nice. I haven't seen any of this. I didn't know that she'd done like a little oven and a crockery pot and some bookshelves and things. We've got, the integrated staircase is very, very nice. And it leads up here into his second floor. It's a very small and modest little home for the mayor, but he doesn't spend a lot of time here. He spends the majority of his time out inside the town hall dealing with the people. And on the back here, which this is a bit of a mess at the moment, because again, we're kind of messing around with facades and what's getting decorated and what's not. The mayor's house will be interior decorated, but as we come through here, there's like this archway with a portcullis underneath it that they can drop down as a defense feature, which I'll explain pretty soon. But the idea, as we come round here, is that there is a tower on the back of the mayor's house as a defense piece, as an archery point. And there is an archer up there. There is a little fella up there with a bow and arrow, keeping an eye on things. We might be able to go up and see him in a second. But we wanted to integrate like the tower as much as we could into the house. So brought this Tudor whitewash timber frame stuff into it, because that's part of like the residential corner. You know, the back of this building is going to have the white timber frame, so it kind of links to that. And then next to where the mayor's home is going to be another section of like apartments, essentially, that sit on top of where the blacksmith is. All of this stuff around here is the blacksmith and like the forge area, the workshop, all of that kind of stuff, the central area for weapons and armor creation, basically. So in between, sort of like, if we've got the workshop here with his yard out back and then his shop on the side, then in the middle here we would have a staircase going up that would lead to apartments that sit on top of the blacksmith. That's the idea there. And all of these kind of like penthouse little miniature apartments in the centre of town would belong to people of some level of status that don't necessarily have like family lines and family trees, or they would be rented out to ambassadors from other cities and kingdoms that are coming to visit, basically. So we went with this very vibrant red with the prismarine roofing on top there. I really like how it turned out. It's giving me Fable, it's giving me Witcher. I'm super happy with it. Obviously it's nowhere near complete, but we've got a lot of stuff here that I'm more than like satisfied with the amount of progress that we've made. So when it comes to the tower on the back here, the main purpose of it, which we decided, was there's going to be another one here, and it's going to be a little miniature gatehouse that sections off. So the portcullis over here would drop down, and there would be another portcullis here that would also drop down, and any invading armies that might get inside Dollarhide would be forced to funnel their way along this street, because there's going to be a street that runs alongside this building. You know, they can't get through there on the town square side. They can't get through on that other side. They've got to come round here, and then it would trap them. It would funnel them into here and trap them, so that anybody that is over there on the castle would be able to shoot arrows, shoot cannons, shoot whatever it is that we've got over here, and cause some hassle. It's a little choke point, basically. We want to have a couple of those little checkpoints dotted around where there's some sort of interior defense to Dollarhide, because when it comes to defense and stuff, Dollarhide is just naturally in a pretty good position. So we're going to have to try and integrate, you know, try and be clever with how we're integrating some of our defenses and things, because we can't really set up siege weapons or defense weapons or anything like that. We're heavily reliant at Dollarhide on our archers. Speaking of, we'll go up onto this roof real quick. I haven't got my elytra on. I'm not going to go inside the building, but there is an archer up there with his archery gear on, his cowl, and he's keeping an eye out for any nefarious thieves and ne'er-do-wells, whatever, some nasty men, some bastards, if you will, so that he can snipe them down from his nest up there. So yeah, that's what we got going on, basically. This is what we've spent the day doing. And next, like, I'm just going to keep on chugging through and keep on working on this corner here, get all the shells done, all the, like, the roofing section done, all the walls and things done, and start doing the same on this side. I think I'd work on this side and then work my way round. I don't really want to jump straight into doing the tavern. I want to see if I can find some reference points and stuff for that. But so far, I'm really, really happy with how it's turned out. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a thumbs up if you've got any suggestions, or if you've got any inspirations or just things that you want to say. Then feel free to comment them down below. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long to get another episode out of Minecraft. I've hoped you've enjoyed this technical first episode after the prologue, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.